In this series of great performances in the company of Sachin Tendulkar, we're going to Sri Lanka. 203, we're talking 2010 at the Sinhalese Sports Club ground. Different atmosphere, different conditions. Was it tough playing in Sri Lanka? Because before this innings, you'd been on the field where, almost 600 runs had been scored.
I know. And
yeah.
Under the sun, it's even more. You actually are counting overs. 90 overs, kab khatam ho jayenge. Because the wicket was flat. And the only thought in my head was, "Meri batting kab aayegi?"
But tell me, you counter the bowlers. We often talk about countering conditions. Sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's hot. But Sri Lanka saps you, doesn't it?
Sri Lanka is indeed.
Yeah.
And it has always been like that. I've never played a single game in Sri Lanka where it's cloudy and one feels, wow, this is brilliant. We can play as long as we want to. But no, Sri Lanka is sapping. And conditions are tough. The outfields are also heavy. In fact, that match that we played, the outfield was heavy.
Was this, in a sense, a tribute to fitness? Because you'd been out on the ground for that long. Then in those conditions to score another 200 runs, you're virtually on the ground throughout.
It's to do with how you've performed in the earlier games. And I felt that was a period when Gary was around, and I was in that space where I was really pushing myself hard, and the results were following. All the hard work, all the number of hours that I spent in the nets, in the gym, I was enjoying the results, and that results to an individual working harder.
Okay.
And I loved that cycle. It just worked brilliantly.
Sri Lanka had Ajantha Mendis was bowling well at the time, and there's a feeling that Ajantha Mendis might have got one up on the Indians sometimes.
There were occasions where he bowled really well, but on occasions we also heard that the Indian guys are not picking him. That was wrong. I thought we were picking him, but sometimes it's like somebody bowling an outswinger. It's an outswinger, but you still sometimes edge it. There are ways of playing that ball, but I can understand if we were not picking and getting out. I felt we were picking, but he bowled well. I mean, there were occasions where we shouldn't have played certain shots or defended in a particular manner, but you end up doing that, and that's how the game has its way to get you back in the nets and work on something.
Keep working on things. Now, Suraj Randeep said something interesting. He said, I'd bowled the same ball, and once he'd hit me on the front foot, once he'd hit me off the back foot to the same ball.
Did he?
Yes, he seems, yeah.
No,
Was it just a way of disturbing the length that you're coming out?
Well, when you're batting well, then there are certain things that one can do. You can hit on the rise, through the line, against the spin. There are times when a half volley also you're not able to put away. And it was one of those days where one felt confident.
Do you rate innings against quicker bowlers a little higher than against spinners, simply because Indians are brought up against spin? So
no, I think to play against a world-class spinner on a good track which is assisting that bowler, it's equally tough, without any doubt.
Yeah, because for a lot of us, when we were growing up, at least, we were always told if you can stand up to fast bowling, that's really good. So we always valued runs scored against fast bowling more. We thought spin is what we see all the time. So that was the reason behind asking you that.
Yeah, I mean, depends. Are you worried about getting hit, or are you worried about getting out?
Yeah, there you go. So there you go. It was a wonderful innings, that one as well. 203 in energy-sapping conditions in Sri Lanka after having been in the field that long made it a special innings.
Loves that cut shot, he really does, and there's no point in chasing that. Right out of the middle of the bat. That was a pretty average delivery. Straight on that one again, a little bit too short again. Tendulkar getting that cut shot away. You can see now why he hasn't got a silly point in there. Would be absolutely bombarded.
That's nicely played. Wow, he's played that superbly. It was quite a pacey delivery, over 140 k's per hour. Just have a look at the way that Sachin has so much ability that he can just rock back and just ease this nice and fine. Oh, we had a dab at that one. There was a little bit of excitement there from the bowler. I'm not sure there was any connection. But one or two are ready to go up in a big way.
Yes, he flirted at it, just going over his head, and that looked like he touched it, Hazy. He opened the face of the bat, and Prasanna Jayawardene
That's nice and fine. Gone for 4 comfortably this time. So let's have a close look at that and see if we can see anything on it. Let's listen as well and just see if the ball changes after it goes past the bat. Yep, I think there definitely was some sort of connection, and Prasanna, he's normally a very, very good keeper.
Fernando continues. He's been running in hard. The long spell this morning. Then again, it would have been heartbreak when Jayawardene put that nick down.
Punched off the back foot, will be looking for a couple of runs. There is a fieldsman coming around. Namika Prasad, they'll get an easy 2.
Down the wicket he comes. That's way over the top. That's a fantastic hit. 2 metres over the fence for 6. Well, that's interesting. We saw Sehwag getting out, going for the big 6 down the ground first up. Tendulkar's gone for the big 6, and in so doing has got his 60. Correction, got his 50. There it is, right out of the meat of the bat, way over the top, and all the way for 6. So he's starting to grow in confidence.
Yes, Tendulkar has been the cornerstone in this Indian innings after those quick wickets. Few paces down the track, and perfectly timed in the middle of the bat, sailing over long on. Beautiful shot. Tendulkar, when on song, looks such an attractive player, both in defense and in attack.
He loves that cut shot, he really does, and there's no point in chasing that. Right out of the middle of the bat. That was a pretty average delivery. 283 for 4. Straight on that one again, a little bit too short again. Tendulkar getting that cut shot away. You can see now why he hasn't got a silly point in there. He'd be absolutely bombarded. You just can't bowl outside that off stump short to Tendulkar. You've got to get him coming forward to you. Get him driving.
Far too short from Suraj Randeep. Tendulkar quickly on the back foot. That deficit is being reduced. Once again played fine. At least a couple of runs might go all the way. In fact, it's gone for 4. This outfield is so quick. So the 300 is up for India. Runs are coming quickly, and Sachin Tendulkar now gradually getting into top gear.
So he's got 66.
Delicate from Sachin. Just using the pace of that delivery, it's slightly quicker. And running it off the blade and picking up another boundary. Moves into the 80s now.
very delicately played, and he played it late as well. It was not that far outside the off stump, pretty close to the off stump in fact, but he was in control, no slip.
That's a good shot. That's a beautiful, clever drive. We better have another look at that one. Tendulkar. Brings up the 350 with this drive. Just have a look at the elegance of this.
That's the best shot of the day. So much ease, just helped it into the gap. There was a field out there. He had no chance.
He's got that away nice and fine. Set himself on that occasion, Tendulkar. All the way for 4, right off the middle of the bat.
Got his leg right across. Made sure. Just gets a little bit of bat on that. It was amazing the speed it ran away. Dilaro Fernando giving up the chase very early.
He's hit that up nice and hard, and will it beat the fieldsman? Oh, I think it's rolled into the boundary. So that takes Tendulkar now to 98.
Tendulkar's magnificent record. Sangakkara in the meanwhile has brought the field in. Sweepers and the deep square legs all coming in to save the single.
Last ball of the over. Pushes forward. No is the call. He remains on 98. 362 for 4. There goes a sweep shot, and beautifully played by Tendulkar. That whistles away, and into the fence it goes. Tendulkar's 48th Test century. His 9th against Sri Lanka. His 5th in Sri Lanka after 11 years. And he's 42nd at number 4. And what's more, that's 500s in 2010. Well played, Sachin Tendulkar.
What a knock it has been. It's been such a controlled knock, so determined. He's stayed calm right through, but it had to work hard and bat for a long period. But he's done it with looks fresh as ever. He's taken a few batsmen along with him too. What an effort.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot. Now that is a classical off drive. You've got to be a little careful in the normal course of events with those off spinners that are pitched outside off stump, just in case they spin back. Just watch this.
Tendulkar was certain there wasn't much spin in that one, or any spin at all. He got a big stride forward to get close enough not to let it spin. Little stride first, then right up to the pitch of it. Tossed it up a little bit and got the treatment.
Yes, there's plenty of nonsense spoken by plenty of commentators around the world in respect of how you should play spin. Play with the spin. Have a look at this. This is against the spin. That's an off spinner. The best players of off spinners in the world have always been those who have played the ball well against the spin.
That is nicely played. That is split the middle too. Great placement. 4 runs to round off the over. 7 from it. 427 for 4.
Oh, that's close. That's very close. That one spun back, and Tendulkar misread the line. It seemed to me that his bat was behind his pad, which means that he wasn't really offering the shot, although the umpire, I suppose, thought he might have been. Just let's have a look and see whether it turned down the line. I mean, it's from round the wicket, it pitches and definitely would have hit. No doubt about that. Or was it just, well, there we are. It's being projected as going over the top. Well, I can understand why the Sri Lankans got very excited there about that appeal. That's missed everything and gone down to the boundary for 4. In fact, was that off the bat? Yeah, I think he probably did signal for. Let's see if we can see whether it was bat or glove. It looked to me as if it was arm.
Two close calls for Sachin Tendulkar.
Oh, he's hit him on the head. Smashed him on the head. Now, you don't often see that. It's not often that Tendulkar gets hit on the head by a short delivery. So leg byes for 4. He hardly moved. And just let's see. Did it hit him on the head? But he doesn't seem. Yes, it did. Right on the forehead. When I say on the forehead, it hit the helmet in that area around about the forehead. Oh boy. Now that is the difference these days. You can get smashed on the head, and instead of getting carried on, you just front up for the next ball. A lot of the old players would be saying, oh, this game has changed.
Prasad again. That's nicely played. Wow, he's played that superbly. It was quite a pacey delivery, over 140 k's per hour. Just have a look at the way that Sachin has so much ability that he can just rock back and just ease this nice and fine. Brings up 450.
Yes, he had total control of it. Just got back somewhere around the midriff when he made contact. But he knew where he was going to put it and did that with ease. Waited for it and played it very close to the body.
Oh, that's not a bad shout. That's not a bad shout. Did a pitch in line and straighten a little bit. Just patting it away, Sachin. There's certainly some risk in doing that.
The only thing perhaps was the height. That seemed to bounce a little bit more than the earlier shout. There was a big shout earlier on. This one hit the top, hit the flap of the pad. The earlier one hit the knee roll. So that's the question. He didn't stretch as much as he did on the earlier occasion, but this hit higher, then was rolling towards the stumps, and Tendulkar just stopped it.
Nice awareness from Tendulkar as well at the last minute. Yeah, he's been getting quite a bit of bounce run, Dev, throughout this test match due to that high point of release. Haven't seen much of that off spinner from Mendes. That's been nicely struck. There it is. That's another boundary. He brings up 150 now, Sachin Tendulkar. 24s in this innings and 1-6. It really has been a magnificent innings to watch.
Oh, that's a lovely steered drive off the front foot for 4. Very elegantly played.
How easy was that? Short stride. Uses his wrist to pick the gap.
That's nice and fine. It's gone past the keeper, and that's going to run away for another boundary. So Dilhara Fernando is just struggling with his line right now. Tendulkar, with that shot, goes to 180.
So Fernando not able to get it together. Just started a new spell. Old low full toss to start off with. Now he's straight down leg side, and Sachin Tendulkar says thank you very much.
And that is a better line, but it's a very, very fine stroke indeed. Punch down the ground. Wasn't a half volley. That's another boundary to Sachin.
And with that, 539, that's India's highest total in Sri Lanka. And how easily he's done that. He's now just leaning into deliveries, tucking them away, not spending too much energy. He's been out there for a long time. 184 his score.
And he's not impressed, the skipper.
Nicely played away. That'll go for 4. Another boundary. Brings the score to 5-5-5 for 5.
Just been one-way traffic. This test match, bowlers have struggled so much. Tendulkar turns it fine. This might be his double 100. He'll come back for the second. And Sachin Tendulkar reaches his 5th double 100 in Test cricket. What an important innings it has been for India, particularly in this match. The fourth double 100 by a visiting batsman in Sri Lanka. India 577 for 5.
Appreciated by everyone around the ground. But more importantly, the reaction of the batsman should worry the Sri Lankans. Pump those tired legs to get back for the second. Calm as you like. Yes, a tired Tendulkar, but a focused Tendulkar. Doesn't look like a man whose job is done. They've done a lot of clapping in the last couple of days.
They've gone up for that one, and up goes the finger as well. So Tilakratna Dilshan has picked up the big wicket, the huge wicket in fact. Sachin Tendulkar is now going in a magnificent innings. A double century that's been a delight to watch. He really has played superbly, but now he's on his way back to the change room.
It's what a bowler like Tilakratna Dilshan can do. He has the ability to rip one through. But that time, a tired, lazy shot. And wasn't Prasanna Jayawardene tearing from behind the stumps to grab that? What an effort it's been against the run of play. 174 runs later, Prasanna Jayawardene claims his catch. Sachin Tendulkar out for 203. 592 for 6.
He certainly looks exhausted, that's for sure. Getting a big round of applause from his teammates, as you'd expect, and all the supporters.